Hello everyone, this is Andrew Bennett, the Fort Bend County Law Librarian, and this will be our 5th legal informational video. And this video, we're gonna specifically look at Lexis Advance, mainly because you still got about 2 weeks of free access till May 30th that you can get access to from home. But also this video will be helpful for when we do reopen. You can have some tips and tricks to use Lexis Advance here at the Law Library as well. Do remember that we have 3 Lexis Advance portals here at the Law Library, and our subscription typically covers Texas and federal law. This is going to be all the statutes and codes, the administrative code. It's going to include case law, from the appeals court on up. It's going to include federal law that includes like the Fifth Circuit and the Southwest bankruptcy courts. It's also include the United States Supreme Court case law as well. As far as secondary material, the Lexis Advanced database does have all the Matthew Bender publications, so you're including like Dorsanio's Texas Litigation Guide, Texas Transaction Guide, things like that, the turquoise kind of blue binder sets. Lexis Advance also has like the State Bar of Texas pattern jury charges. It's also going to have a lot of those James Publishing guides, so like Texas probate forms and procedures, things like that. And then of course everything on this website you can download in Word format, in PDF, you can email, you can download. So there's plenty of things on here that you can get access to. Now, if you're interested in that free access for the next couple weeks, feel free to email us, either myself or Jonathan, or email us on our public email address, which is llpublic@fortbend.lib.tx.us, or you can call us. Our phone number is 281-341-3718. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so let's get started. So this is the Lexis Advance main screen, and like I said earlier, you do get access to this from home, but be aware that you only get it for the next 2 weeks. You do have to sign up for an account, but it's pretty easy, and then you'll get access to this. But let's go ahead and get started. So this is the main screen where you can do a lot of things right here off the bat. You've got your main search screen here. I've already entered divorce and tax, but this is where you would enter like the citation of a particular case. You could enter different keyword searches like I've done there. Both divorce and tax would be considered keywords. Or you can search for, the specific citation of a statute or code. You can search for the style of the case. You can look for, a specific name of a form, whatever you're looking for. Now, what's on Lexis Advance? Well, there's a lot of different things. Probably the most important thing that you're going to look for might be the Matthew Bender practice guide. So you're talking like Dorsanio's Texas Litigation Guide, Texas Transaction Guide, those types of sources, like the turquoise binder sets. They're going to be on here. The James Publishing practice guides, they're on here. And then any, like State Bar of Texas pattern jury charges. All that's going to be on here, and of course you can download those in Word. You can download them in PDF. You can email those documents to yourself. So they may try to make things really easy. And of course, we predominantly are going to have on here Texas law, and that's going to include, cases, statutes, the Texas Administrative Code, secondary material, like I mentioned earlier, the Matthew Bender practice guides, forms, briefs, motions, things like that. Forms is also going to be a lot of what's on this website. Now, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to search for divorce and tax. Those are going to be my 2 keywords. And you can connect those with your Boolean operators. And I'm specifically talking about and here. And so what Ann's going to do, it's going to find any case that has divorce and tax in it. You can use the other Boolean operators. So let's say you wanted to find all the cases that have divorce or tax in there. So you'd put or in the middle. Or you could do not. So it'd find, divorce but not tax. So any divorce case that's not dealing with a tax issue. Now, we can all go ahead and narrow this. So I'm just going to look for cases, but if you hit the drop down here, you can select what type of document that you're looking for, whether that's statutes, secondary material, forms, whatever you're looking for. From here, you can also narrow your jurisdiction. So I want to narrow my jurisdiction to just Texas. So now I'm only going to be looking for cases that are in Texas. Now, be aware that when you're using this or you're using Westlaw, it's only going to be the appeals court and above when you're looking for case law. So you're talking about all the different Texas appeals courts, the criminal Court of Criminal Appeals, or the Texas Supreme Court. It will have federal case law in here as well, but we're specifically talking about more like Fifth Circuit, the Southern Bankruptcy Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, any case that could come out of this area on the way up. So if it's a different circuit, we may very well not have it as part of our subscription. All right, so let's go ahead and search. So we've already found 3,095 cases. Now that's going to be quite a lot. There's no way you're going to be able to read through that. But let's kind of come over here to the left-hand side. This is where you can narrow your search even more. So if we hit timeline search on here, I really want to just have the last 3 years. So let's come down here and let's make it 2016 because we're only in May for 2020. All right, so I'm going to hit OK. So now I'm down to 368 cases. That's going to be quite a bit more manageable. Now we probably want to narrow this a little bit more. So let's look at publication status. Let's just keep it to reported cases for now. Now, of course, if you run into a situation where all those reported cases don't have the particular issue that you're looking for, you can always reopen it and re-add unreported here. But let's look at the courts. We do have it narrowed to Texas, but maybe we don't want to have Supreme Court cases. We don't want to have criminal appeals. Maybe you're looking just for the Houston area. So we're looking at 1st and 14th Court of Appeals. So let's uncheck all of these. So now I've just got the 1st and 14th. So now I'm down to 32 cases, which makes this, 30 cases. So this makes this extremely more manageable. A couple things you need to be aware of when you're doing this search. You want to look at these Shepards Citations. So this one has an A on it, meaning it's got some citing references. They're neither really good or bad. In particular, they're just kind of parallel citations. So that may be one you want to look at. The one with the plus sign here, meaning it's got positive treatment. That means there's probably a subsequent case that has upheld that particular case. The one that you're going to look for that you might want to be aware of that might have some negative treatment is going to be the stop sign, meaning it's probably been overruled by a preceding case, subsequent case. You've also got the yellow triangle, means it's got some possible negative treatment, but it may not be the particular issue that you're dealing with. So that might be one that you're going to want to read to find out what negative treatment there is on that particular case. So let's go ahead and scroll back up. I'll just click on Land v. Land. Let's look at this case. It's out of the 14th District. So right here off the top, you're gonna see what citation is right here. You can also see your timeline here that shows where all your keywords show up. So the green one here is likely going to be your first one, so that's going to be divorce. And then your second one's going to deal with taxes. So now you know exactly how often your keyword shows up. From the right hand side here, you can still see the Shepards information. So this one's been cited twice. One positive and one just neutral citation, probably a parallel citation. So you can click on those and see that subsequent case, so you can see exactly what they're talking about. As with any document on here, you can kind of scroll down. For case law, you've got a case summary, different core terms. You've got your head notes here. So this is dealing with judgments, preclusion of judgment, res judicata, post-nuptial and separation agreements, so on and so forth. So you can read through those. As with any document on here, of course, you can download, email, or print. So if you click on the little envelope here, you can, of course, email it to yourself. You can click on download. And then from there, of course, you can select whether you want it PDF or Word. I believe WordPerfect's still on here as an option. So file type, yeah, WordPerfect. So if you still use WordPerfect, you can find that on here. Rich text format, so it can be opened in almost any word processing program. So you can do it from there. You've got the print icon here. Of course, be aware if you print it here at the law library, it's 10 cents a page. So just be aware of that. Okay, so this is just kind of the basic case law searching here. So you can get kind of an overview of how to do that and narrow your sources. And that's a lot of times just kind of the basic uses of this program, so that you can find, you know, what you need easier. All right, so now, and by the way, the narrowing kind of applies for anything that you're searching. So if you're doing forms or something like that, there's some narrowing things you can do as well. Limit by jurisdiction, narrow it to forms, you know, try to enter a really nice list of keywords, you know, from that particular form, so that you can narrow exactly what you're looking for. One other thing I do want to look on here, you can narrow this by practice area. You know, I find that somewhat difficult in a way, because it doesn't necessarily narrow it to jurisdiction, first of all, and it doesn't narrow by your categories. So, you know, you can set up some favorites here that kind of help with that. But if you're searching by practice area, it's just going to find anything that's, you know, dealing with that particular practice area. Down here on the browse, of course, you can browse statutes, cases, secondary materials, so you can start here. You could also start by a specific jurisdiction, so you could click on Texas, and make things pretty easy for you. The other thing that I do want to look at is you can go to a particular practice page. Let me see where I can get to that. They've probably moved it, or it always feels like they moved it. But let's click on Texas here. Yeah, so now here's your Texas practice page, where you can kind of pick and choose what kind of materials you're looking for. Maybe you need statutes and case law, or maybe you just need the statute and the particular secondary material that goes with it. So you can do all that here. You can click on advanced search and enter, you know, here's your Boolean operators. You can enter citation and title here. And by the way, always look on the right hand side. It will explain those Boolean operators to you again. Also some, you know, special symbols that you might want to use. So like variation of the word, you might want to put it in your exclamation point. Phrase searching within a certain amount of words between the two. So you've got that there as well. All right, so that's pretty much the basics of this database. I don't want to go too much more in depth and make this video way too long. So again, if you've got any questions, feel free to contact us either by phone or email, and we'll be happy to help you where we can. Thank you and have a great day.